Hey second graders, so I just want to remind you that right before the break, we were organized, each class was organized into nonfiction book clubs. So some of you were reading about topics like the human body, weather, or oceans. And you were reading different books in a text set from Epic. And while you were reading those books, you were asked to fill out a KWL chart. Here's a KWL chart. It helps us keep track of what we know, what we wonder, and what we've learned. And I put a little star here next to the column that says what I learned because today I want to really focus on some of the different types of jots that we came across as we were looking through your work. Most of the jots that we saw you write were jots that came directly from the book. So you learned a fact and you copied it right out of the text onto your chart. We call those jots from the book jots. Now, other times we came across some jots that came from your head. We could tell that these were thoughts or ideas you were having in response to what you were reading. And these are really strong jots. So today I want to teach you that when nonfiction readers come up with their own ideas about what they're reading and learning, those are the best jots of all. You don't want to just copy what you see in the text. You want to try to push yourself to come up with some of your own ideas about what you're reading. So here is one of the jots that we came across. And I want you to think about, as I read to you the fact that this student wrote down, I want you to think about, do you think the information on this post-it down here came from the book or the reader's head? He writes, white fluffy clouds are called cumulus. White fluffy clouds are called cumulus. So I want you to point. Do you think that this came from the book he was reading? He just copied it word for word? Or do you suppose that this fact came from the reader's head, a thought that they were having in response to what they read? Well, if you pointed here to in the text, you'd be right. Let's take a look at the book that he was reading. The section's called Clouds, and there's a caption right here, and the caption says, white fluffy clouds are called cumulus clouds. Oh, those must be these white puffy clouds right up here. Tiny water droplets float in the air. They group together. They make clouds of all shapes and sizes. White fluffy clouds mean good weather. And there's a little box that says weather word, droplet. It's a very small bit of liquid. So the reader was able to determine that this was important, that white fluffy clouds are called cumulus clouds, and so they just wrote that down word for word. Now, if we wanted to push this reader to try to come up with their own idea about what they're reading and learning, maybe they would say something like, I think cumulus clouds, just looking at the fact that this is a beautiful beach scene, blue skies, white clouds, looks pretty dry, no rain. I think cumulus clouds are a sign that you should go out and play because it probably won't rain. If these were dark, then maybe you shouldn't play outside or plan a trip to the beach. So did you see how I used the picture and the words, but also my head, to think about, I think cumulus clouds are a sign that you can go out and play because it likely won't rain. Let's try this again. Let's take a look at reader number 2's jot. And as I read this to you, I want you to think about, do you think this information on the post-it came from the book or the reader's head? It says, I learned that dolphins send special signals and penguins eat squid. Let's focus on the bottom fact. There's two facts here. Let's focus on this. Penguins eat squid. I want you to point to the book if you think this came directly from the book. Or if you think this came from the reader's head, I want you to point over here to the little emoji that's thinking in his head. Let's take a look at the text. It says, Emperor penguins catch krill, squid, and small fish to eat. Sometimes they must travel far to find food. These carnivores dive deep in the water to hunt. They can go as deep as 1,850 feet, or 564 meters below the surface. And here they are diving all the way down to get food, which we learned is krill, squid, or fish. So it turns out penguins eat squid. That actually came directly from the book, right here. If we wanted to push ourselves to try to think about what ideas come out of this page looking at the pictures and the words, well, first of all, I wonder, how can these penguins breathe from such deep waters? 1,850 feet? That's deep. Well, an idea that I'm having is penguins can breathe underwater for a very long time. Now, it didn't say that here, but I came up with that idea based on what I was reading and learning. Penguins can breathe underwater for a very long time. So here's a wonderful chart that will help to make your jots even stronger. To share an idea you're thinking about what you're learning, this idea should come from your head. Here are some really great sentence starters that can help you as you jot. You could say something like, an idea I'm having, I think, this makes me wonder, or this makes me feel. These are some really great sentence starters that you can use as you think about what you're reading and what you're learning. So the goal is to make your jots even stronger. Not only to jot what you've learned from the text, but to move on to this place right here, to jot down thoughts from your head. So I want you to watch as I show you how I would do this. I'm actually going to play for you a video that's called Pushes and Pulls, since we've been reading some Forces in Motion books recently. Now, while I'm listening to this video, very important that I have a couple tools nearby. I need a pencil. If you have Post-its at home, great. If you don't, a piece of paper or a notebook would work just fine. I even set up a section in my notebook called Forces in Motion, and while I'm listening to the video, I'm going to stop and think about what I'm learning, and I'm going to try to push myself to come up with ideas from my head, and I'm going to jot them on these two Post-its, and I might even use some of those sentence starters like I wonder, an idea I'm having, I feel, I think. So I want you to watch the video and then listen closely.